I had no idea you pondered such weighty issues, Charles E.
Besides, there's always time to debate the weighty issues of the day.
And to not concern myself with such weighty affairs.
For a weighty responsibility of your very own.
When weighty decisions were made.
Oh, you already finished eating.
And in the Gotham City Library, Barbara Gordon has a weighty problem.
That's a weighty accusation.
We are here to discuss some rather weighty matters.
It's a weighty responsibility.
A weighty choice is yours to make. The right selection or a big mistake.
He bears a heavy responsibility.
I believe folks of a certain class have a heavy responsibility.
She bears a heavy responsibility for our family.
Gentlemen, we've been charged with a heavy responsibility.
All I can say is that heavy responsibility.
Heavy burden of responsibility, and to discharge my duties as king.
It's a heavy responsibility riding herd in a settlement.
We all wonder why we were given such a heavy burden to carry.
I know the Templars placed a heavy burden on you.
The Lord has placed a heavy burden on you.
To stave off sarcopenia.
How many refugees has Poland taken?
How much are you using on a daily basis?
The mighty ass tirelessly bears the heavy burden of others.
You carry a heavy burden, Frodo.
Away my heavy burden.
Oh, it is a heavy burden.
And now you bear a heavy burden.
That he might bear this heavy burden.
The burden is a heavy one.
Revenge is too heavy a burden to carry.
Ezran, the crown is a heavy burden to carry.
It is a heavy burden, both figuratively and literally.
You've been carrying too heavy a burden for too long.
It's a heavy burden. Still trying to figure it all out.
Heavy burden of responsibility, and to discharge my duties as king.
Too heavy for some to bear.
Took away my heavy burdens. Lord, He gave me peace within.
Shouldering the blame. Shoulder the blame for the money.
Now, Brittany's got to shoulder some of the blame.
Because they need someone to shoulder the blame, they may shift back into the role of rescuer in order to sustain the relationship.
And shoulder the blame, we don't guarantee outcomes, nor should we. To do so would be to take credit for student success and shoulder the blame for their failures.
Also share credit when things go well and shoulder the blame when they do not.
Who shouldered the blame for this disaster? Who shouldered the blame for this disaster? Who shouldered the blame? Expression: to shoulder the blame. To shoulder the blame means to take responsibility for something that went wrong, for a bad situation, for a
should violence, but given the fact that it's only Palestinians who are being killed, should Israel not shoulder some of the blame?
For a time, video games set during World War II were very, very popular. 1998 film Saving Private Ryan can shoulder much of the blame.
Conscious and sugar cereals came to shoulder at least some of the blame.
Asks, do you think all Western liberal democracies shoulder much of the blame for China's continual terrible human rights record by their reluctance to apply?
Not only refused to shoulder any of the blame for his catastrophic defeat, but laid it at the feet of the convenient scapegoat.
China Daily says the U.S. National Security Agency must shoulder some of the blame.
Saving Private Ryan shoulders the blame for the popularity of World War II games at the start of the millennial decade.